One of the greatest ways to avoid procrastination is if you know it. You know that when you know something, you want to do it fast. You want to do it fast, you understand? So one of the greatest way to avoid procrastination is to know that thing. So just try to know it as much as you can. Hi everyone, how are you guys doing? I'm back again with another YouTube video. Anyways, today I'll be talking about the part 7 of Brian Tracy's book, and this is on focus on the key areas. Focus on the key areas in your work, focus on the key areas in your studies, focus on the key areas in basically any fair that you find yourself in. You understand? So basically, what's key areas? Key areas are the areas in which you are completely responsible for. You understand? These are areas that you are completely responsible that could result to promotion or demotion. It's more like a positive and a negative feedback. So I'll be talking about the big 7. In big 7 is a rule in management and sales. The big 7 are the planning, the organization, the staffing, the delegating, the supervising, the measuring, the reporting. Basically, these are all what it takes for you to be effective when it comes to, you understand, setting your key results and achieving your key results. And if any of this is lacking, like your planning, you did not effectively plan, it affects your key results. You understand? And you already know what I said about key result. Key result is basically something that you are responsible for that could either result to demotion or, you understand, promotion. So it can decline your skill even as a manager, as a student, as a worker, like in any fair, like in any area you find yourself. So I'll be talking about the clarity. Like, clarity is very essential when it comes to selecting your key areas. First of all, how is clarity essential? Clarity, when I talk about clarity, I mean like finding your key areas. What are your key areas? And I kid you not when I tell you that all areas in which you work, whatever you being paid a salary 9 to 5, you understand, like a student, also a worker, you are also under this group because you have a key area that if you don't do well in this area, you will be demoted or you'll be sent back or you'll be sent packing. You understand what I'm saying? You write about 5 as much as you can write. The next thing you do is to grade yourself. Grading yourself is very important because no one can stay true to yourself. Like, nobody can be true as you will be true to yourself. So when you are the only one that can be very sincere to yourself, because people might be seeing you but they don't know who you are. You understand? So it's basically just telling yourself that you grade yourself from 1 to 10. Am I doing well in this area? 5. Am I not doing well in this area? 4. Am I doing very well? 8. You understand? That is basically how we are to grade ourselves. Then after that, I want to also talk about rules, because in this case, any weakness in these areas will send you packing. You understand what I mean by packing? That means you can either get demoted, or like you can lose your job, or you can even decline, especially as a student. If there is a weakness in these your key areas, it could like have a negative effect in the rest of your areas. You understand? Okay, let me talk about a student. For example, let me use a student now. For example, a student is getting A's, the student is getting A's, B's, you understand, like little C's, and all of a sudden, boom, like let me just say A's, and all of a sudden, boom, the student got an E or an F. You understand? That alone has a negative effect, like it weakens the person. You understand? So it is advisable that wherever you find weakness in, you try to focus in that area to boost yourself, to like develop yourself, or to avoid being smooth sent out. Or we also be talking about poor performance. Have you ever noticed that areas where most people see themselves as working poor, like poor performance, they end up avoiding that area? So poor performance brings about procrastination, according to Brian Tracy. He says poor performance brings about procrastination. But one thing we should do is that we should not find ourselves in this group. We should try to eliminate this procrastination. I've talked about other procrastination and effective procrastination, but in this case, when you are acting poor in your key areas, and there's one thing I need to say, and that thing is, there is nothing that is not learnable. Everything and anything can be learned. So take notes and don't be in that side that you're saying, I don't have this skill, there is no skill that can't be learned. Please take note of this thing. So the greatest question is the question that you ask yourself, and you ask yourself for development. Am I doing well? Am I not doing well? You will be sincere to yourself and tell yourself that I'm not doing well in this area. For example, I'm not doing well in my studies. I don't think I'm making enough money. I don't think I'm doing this, and I keep avoiding this, and I keep procrastinating on this particular aspect that could give me this promotion. Truly, this thing can give me promotion. So that's a way to recognize. That's a great question. That's basically the greatest question. Your ability to recognize your fault and move forward with. Have you observed that most of the times in school settings, like when you get an F, it is advisable for you to read and do it back, and you end up getting a better result? That's because, why do you get a better result? It's because you focus there and you discover that you can do well in that. You eliminated procrastination and you just focused there, you studied and you got a good grade all of a sudden. Before you got F, but now you got an A. You see the difference? It's basically you setting your priorities and focusing in this area. Your ability to, like, what's his name, Norman Pearl Norman Pearl, he had said that the ability to focus your physical, your mental energy, everything into a particular thing, your power for that thing boosts, and you have a greater power to overcome that thing. I want to talk about how do you eat your frog in this kind of case when it comes to your key areas. The first thing you do is to clarify your key areas. What are your key areas? Then the next thing you do, you grade yourself 1 to 10, and after then you ask people, like, based on those rules, you plan, you ask people. So guys, thanks so much. I've come to the end of this video. I hope you liked this video. And I'll be so glad to know that you like this video. And please like, comment, share your thoughts in the comments, comment and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate if you do so. And I remain your one and only Lady CI, and you already know I am that bridge between knowledge and basically learning. Bye. See you in my next video, and I love you so much.